Good Lorcana fans and Sabrina Carpenter. Wow, Luca just destroyed the intro there. It's okay. It's alright, guys. I'm not doing it again. So we have Jose, Luca, and DJ. Jose is new on the podcast. Everybody knows Luca, and DJ's been on a couple times. We're gonna do a quick recap of our weekend. DJ three-peated the luxury ball set champ. Luca decided he wanted to play BlueSteel this weekend. It was exciting. And Jose is going to talk about playing PurpleSteel, which seems to be popping up more and more around the Lorcana tournaments. So, DJ, if you want to take it away.
Yeah.
Give your deck.
So,
did you send it to me?
Yep, I sent the deck list in the chat on the StreamYard thing.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. RC Games / Luxury Ball Collectibles. That's kind of been my home store since the game came out, and was able to go undefeated in the original Stitch Championship Stitch set champs. I was able to bring it home for Ursula, and then was thankful enough this was the only set champs I've been able to do, probably the only one I'm going to be able to do potentially. So I was glad I was able to again go undefeated and take it home again for the third time in a row, also with AmberSteel still. You'd see a trend. That's usually my go-to deck when I'm not able to practice something else for a million hours. I just fall back to that deck. But yeah, it was about 20-ish people that showed up for that one, and ended up starting off against Green Steel, 1-2-1. Green Steel in round 2, 1-2-1. 2-0'd Blurple in round 3, and then drew round 4 and 5 to then make Top Cut. In Top Cut, I was kind of a little worried because I ended up getting paired against Red Blue in the top 8, but I was able to 2-0. Actually played against Caesar, so always good to play against him because he's definitely a good player. Played him in the finals of last set champs at RC Games Luxury Ball. Played against another Blurple, Big Tobacco on Blurple. Was able to win that matchup, and then I played yet again Lucas on Red Blue, and he talked a lot of crap about Red Blue stomping on AmberSteel, and I won 2-1 and just out aggroed him. So yeah, it felt overall pretty good, especially being able to take down Red Blue, which is probably the hardest matchup. But I find, especially after Vegas, if I know I'm going into Red Blue, you have the outs, you have the play lines. One of the most common ones the entire day against both Red Blue players was constantly just zapping my own things and Rapunzeling them up to out resource the Red Blue deck. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, back to back to back.
I know, it's crazy. Everybody was like so hyped for you.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
And then I forgot to put you in the
and then I was ignored out of post. I was like, the gang's all here. Yeah, but this was my deck list here. I made some last minute edits like 15 minutes after the round was supposed to start, and I submitted my deck list right before the round was supposed to start. The main things I tweaked from my Vegas list was getting rid of the flute, the lanterns, and getting rid of the big Tinkerbells, which I had a couple of those in there. And then I ended up adding one more Piglet and adding 3 Lawrences, and then going up to 4 Pete. So those were the most notable changes. I know some people have been playing the bare necessities and not really playing World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Criminal Mind came in handy quite often throughout the day. And when it wasn't, it was ink. I could find it with Ariel and then get an extra ink. But yeah, nothing too groundbreaking this list, I'll be the first to say. Pretty standard cookie cutter.
How come you're not playing Daisy?
I think the card is trash. I can't stand Daisy. I find Daisy is not good at all for when, at least my version of how I play Steel Song. if
Mhm.
you do not see wheel, you're only giving them more resources. And so you're even more reliant on wheel than a normal Steel Song deck is going to be. What are
Okay.
your thoughts on it?
I don't know. Cuz like I'm still trying to figure out what I'm playing for Seattle, and like Daisy's in my list right now, but I don't remember what I put in my list but I ended up cutting a Daisy, and I was like, "Oh, like this doesn't feel bad." And I've been like back and forth on World's Greatest Criminal, so like I was just, I don't know, like thinking about taking Daisy out completely, cuz it's also just like another uninkable, and when you draw her late game, like, oh cool, yeah, like I'll play her, but she's a 1/4. By then they have the resources to play a card that's just gonna out it.
Yeah.
So,
I think if you're playing the really low to the ground, you're trying to end before World's Greatest Criminal Mind would even be relevant, then yeah, World's Greatest
yeah.
Criminal Mind doesn't need to be in that list. But in this, it's kind of I've always leaned towards the more mid range, whereas I can go aggro in those red blue matchups where I am just going as wide as I can. I'm not even shifting Robin Hood. I'm just
Yeah.
going wider. And yeah, just
I'm not
trying to
gonna
win before.
lie, Robin Hood just like has been feeling really bad for me. Like
Hmm.
in Vegas, it felt so good. And then this past what, like 2 weekends, Red Blue I didn't lose a single game against Red Blue in Vegas. Okay, so like I didn't lose a single match. I
Yeah.
split with one red blue player the whole weekend in Vegas, and then I have not been able to beat like red blue since. Like it's just, I don't know. Like it just, like I'm not
Yeah.
able to like outpace them.
Yeah, Robin Hood Shift is definitely a bait in the red blue matchup because he gets outed so quickly, and then you're
Yeah.
investing your one drop and your turn three play. So unless you're using him and you have to absolutely wheel, I was a lot of times playing like Robin Hood one, Piglet two, Lawrence three, and then not even shifting the Robin Hood, and
Yeah.
then if I didn't need to ink him, I wouldn't, just in case I needed to then, okay, now I'm out of resources, now shift and then wheel. Whereas
Yeah.
they're not usually worried about the Robin Hood later game, the little one, if you've kind
Yeah.
of shown like you don't have the shift line, but it's just not worth playing, especially once they get one ice block out, you're cooked.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm still trying to decide. I played Green Steel this weekend a little bit, or not this weekend, but Monday for to test it, and I was like, "Ugh, this feels bad too." Like I want to play Steel Song, so I was excited to see what your list was.
Yeah, and it felt good against like Robin Hood always feels good against green steel or any steel deck. Just you like big bodies against steel decks.
Yeah.
There are only real outs to it where like, we don't talk about Bruno to try to get rid of it. And any other way, you're getting a card out of it typically when they banish in a challenge, and they don't have a lot of big things in their deck, so that's always nice. So I think it definitely stays in the deck for my list just for that reason. But yeah, it's not great in the red matchup, specifically red blue.
How come you only play Ursula at 2? I've been seeing that a lot more when I look at like other Steel Song lists. Because I play
Yeah,
it at 4.
yeah, some people have cut it completely. I've always been at 3, but I did cut 1, because I cannot fathom removing Ursula out of the deck,
Yeah.
just because it's so impactful to it's most likely going to stick on turn 2, unless your opponent has an Ursula and is gonna sing Zeus on it or something like that. So it's another way that you can regain tempo on the draw against Seal Song in addition with PD on 3, which I like as being on the draw and the mirror. And Ursula just outs so many things, and it can just sit there in those aggro matchups. I don't want to really see it because I don't care about singing things on an empty board against red blue. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of feels bad. And they're not usually going to waste a lot of removal on it. So it's just sitting there not doing much. But it also has 4 health. So it helps with Rapunzel. So I can storm it. Whereas I can't storm my own Cinderella, Robin Hood, Piglet, or anything like that. And typically can't storm my own Smee because it usually has a damage on it by then.
Yeah.
Uh, to be able to Rapunzel the heal off. or the damage off.
Okay. How come you don't play the big tank? Just curious. I feel like that's like such a controversial like topic with Steel Song players. Like,
Yeah. So I kind of in my own head was if I'm playing lanterns, I'm gonna play Big Tink. If I'm not playing lanterns, it's just a 6 cost card. I'm typically never wanting to really bank on always getting to 6 ink. And then I have, 5 costs Robin Hood, 7 costs Cinderella. And if you don't see wheel and you just run out of resources, you're never seeing that. So it's just gonna be ink. Um, I don't typically see running it just because most your lines, anything over 4 costs, you're hoping to shift onto typically. It's only really in the steel matchups that I'm okay playing like Robin Hood just flat out for 5. I usually just want to cheat things out.
yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Any thoughts or other comments from the other two little noodles in the audience there?
I saw Luca react to me calling Daisy
A
trash.
Daisy? Yeah, I don't
No,
know. I don't know about
no.
that one.
Mm,
That card's. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't play Steel Song enough to like tell you if it's trash. But like Bivin says, the card is like, if you take it out, it's like stupid. So I don't know. But like, I'm not a Steel Song player, so I can't say anything. I'm a red purple crutch.
Yeah.
I've only ever played in aggro matches. I've never played Steel Songs. So, yeah, maybe you're right on that in that list.
I think it has a home in a specific list, whereas it's probably not my list that I would run. I do lean towards more of the mid-rangey version of Steel Song. So uh, I'm interested to see because I don't know how I feel about this whole big body, what Nala, Chien Po Steel Song. I'm interested to see about that. I've only heard rumors and whispers about it. I'm
That's
not
the sauce
convinced,
right
but
there. That's
I
but
the
want to see. I
sauce.
want to see Vivian's list. I haven't seen Vivian's list yet. Hey, babe, can you grab me a Diet Coke? I have to cut that out. I want to see Vivian's list though, because like seeing the Nala on turn one was like crazy to me. I was like, what? And Matt said that Nala gained Bivens like 8 lore one time when he was playing against him because it's just like you don't think about it. It's kind of just like a card on the board. It's a vanilla 0
yeah,
4. Like you're not worried about it, so you just quest it. Like it just people aren't thinking about getting rid of it either.
yeah.
I don't know.
But beyond that, it just
I
gets
couldn't
taken out for
understand it
free.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I didn't understand it either. I was like, that's kind of crazy that people would like look at that card and just be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, nah, I want to wipe this board. Like,
nah, I had
like
a
I don't want
red blue
anything
player.
questing.
Yeah, I had a red blue player gain 9 lore just off Hiram questing and popping an item. Those 1 lores
Yeah,
add up. So
yeah, they do. And if you
people
get
probably,
multiple of them out, it's just like it really becomes a problem. So
yeah, it just gets traded off for free. And maybe it's the, novelty of it, of people not expecting it and being thrown off their game by what is this 0 4? Am I missing some hidden flavored text on there that's gonna, banish my character randomly?
yeah,
Uh, so I don't know. It's pretty
yeah.
spicy.
That's what I said. I was like, that's kind of crazy. I was looking at some different still song lists because I was like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about mine yet, and I was, I don't
Yeah.
know. To be fair, I will say this though. DJ did say that Daisy doesn't fit his play style. So everybody is like, because like I play definitely a more aggro-y version of Steel Song, so I kind of like the Daisy and the questing for 2, and I think that Bivens also plays like a little more aggro-y version of Steel Song, so like that's why Daisy is like good. Also in the actual like purple yellow aggro like matchup, I never quest with Daisy if I can get away with it. I'm swinging Daisy into a Lilo. Like Daisy
Oh,
has become a big body for me essentially. Um, so like I think like it's how you play her as well. It kind of matters. So
yeah, for sure. But I think when you are questing with her in those matchups, if you don't see your wheel, it
Yeah.
feels so terrible because you've just drawn them a bunch of cards. I think you're going to put a bottom deck, be prepared just as often as you're going to get them an extra ink that they need, and you're just feeling their, fishbone. It's
Feels
like, oh,
bad.
okay. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
feels really bad when you're just filling their hand and they have still answers for your stuff, and they have a lot of character-based removal nowadays with the Sisu,
Yeah.
the 3-drop uninkable one. So it just feels really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still I like your list. The only thing that I was like wondering about was like that you're not playing any item removal. And I've seen a lot of Steel Song lists playing item removal. So I guess like you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it with the way you play. So it just depends.
Yeah, it typically didn't come into play, but yeah, I could put in Benja. I just think he's not as resilient as like, Lawrence and whatnot. So it
Yeah.
does hurt your game plan in that aspect.
I wish the beast that got rid of a item because that one doesn't quest for 2. That one only quests for 1.
It quests for 2, the Beast Hard Headed, 5-drop steel inkable,
Yeah, I just
4/4
hate
quest
those
for
5
2.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It does
that's the
quest for
same.
2?
Yep,
Yeah.
it quests for 2, 4/4, so it gets out of Medusa, but it's kind of another one of those, like, you don't really want to be having like to play a 5-drop, like, whereas BlueSteel can get away with that by ramping into their 5-drop cogs and stuff like that. Yeah. BlueSteel enthusiast over there.
I know, he's in love now.
We're never gonna see him on Red Purple again.
I know, it was when I posted it on Twitter, I posted a picture of him and Bivens, and Din was like, "Is that a Hiram on Luca's board?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, like Lucas moved to the dark side now."
Enlightened.
Yeah.
I know. Alrighty. Well, Jose, let's talk about your list. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. But you can start talking about it. I'll
I
pull
mean,
it up.
all you need to know is this is a good card. It's
Wait, I don't know what card it is. I can't see it. Give me a
Gathering
second.
knowledge
gathering knowledge
Oh God.
and wisdom.
and wisdom.
I
Yeah,
have none
no,
of
I
that.
played this a few weeks ago when we were all like gaming underground. Paired into a couple bad matches against Emerald Steel. So missed top cut there. Took it back to house cards, and I got pretty decent matchups. I think I played TJ first round, red purple, and then round 2 I played someone with amber amethyst. Round 3 I played Bivens. Did not win that one. Nala is gigantic compared to anything I have in this deck, so that was just going to stay there. I
What do you
couldn't
mean?
fire the cannons at
Your
it
goat
twice.
just your goat takes it out.
Your fox
Or
takes it
your
out.
fox. Yeah, for free.
Never saw one in that case.
You need
Oh, that's
4.
crazy.
But
You could
yeah,
smash it.
I was able to then play another AmberSteel match, won that one, drew in, and played Mets in top 8. He was on Emerald Steel, and I got all the draw. I got really lucky. He mused and sang something to bounce back my dock to my hand. And I was like, okay,
God.
I'll play that again and get 2 more cards.
Wait, he didn't have the discard in hand to get rid of the dock?
No, he I don't think he didn't think about it. And yeah, so just bounced dock straight back to me, and I got to replay it.
Dang. Feels good for you.
I was
Feels,
like, yeah,
feels,
he immediately
feels bad for
realized that was the
Matt.
problem. But
That's so funny.
yeah, and then next round I played this jerk playing BlueSteel. So that was the end of the run, but getting top 4 felt pretty good. I really enjoy this deck though. I think I like playing aggro decks, those real kind of you gotta stop me decks. And so this one's really felt pretty well.
Yeah, I actually kind of like purple steel. It really almost looks like mono purple. I'm not gonna lie to you.
When I showed my friend this deck, that's what he said. He's like, "That's a lot of purple cards."
It's mostly mono purple. With the exception of the few really good steel cards that you are playing. Only one dwarves mines.
Only one. I think now I'm going to two because I'm gonna keep taking this to some more set championships. Uh, cut out the bosses on the roll, which was it's hard to do because that let me put a goat directly on top of my deck at one point, and that was like gonna be the win. So I kind of like the card a lot. I just I'm debating on where to make the cuts.
Hmm. Isn't there a new Maleficent? It's like a 2-drop, right? That also quests for 2?
Yeah,
Or is it a
2
3?
quests for 2.
Why aren't you playing that one?
Honestly,
It
I
fills into the aggro, I feel like.
it does. I want Cusco more, I think, because this suffers
The
from card
drops.
draw.
Yeah.
And
Did you just
between
say this deck suffers from card draw?
from
No
not
brains.
having enough.
You have Doc, you have 4 followers, 4 brooms.
Okay, I'm never like I don't break the followers to draw. I want to keep it out there as long as I can.
Oh, true. Why aren't you playing rabbits? How many Inkables are in this deck?
There are 14 or 15.
Oh, okay, that's why you don't play rabbits.
Yeah. And if I'm gonna bounce something, I want it to be the goat.
Yeah.
Although I did bounce a dock back to get more card draw, so it's good.
Yeah. No, I feel like this deck has like I'm excited to see where it goes because I feel like so many people have been excited to play this purple steel list. That's mostly mono purple, but you know.
The mulligan's really easy for this. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
was gonna say.
you just keep a bunch of one drops.
What is what is the highest number of ink you've gotten to playing this
I,
deck?
I think I've gotten to 6 or 7, and it feels excessive. I've actually won a couple
DJ's
games on
face.
3.
That's when you know you're losing. When you have 6 ink, like the game is over.
Yeah, we're just turning the wheels at that point.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good because you have Fire the Cannons to answer Diablo. And I think Nets did that. He dropped the 1-drop Diablo to see the hand. I had 2 Fire the Cannons. Like, he's not going to last very long.
Yeah, and they're not songs, so you can't rip them.
No.
I was gonna ask. That was gonna be one of my questions. Was how you felt like how necessary you felt the removal aspect of this deck was when you're really kind of wanting to be the aggressor.
It's pretty important for those, turn 3 and 4. Especially, well, turn 2, if someone drops a Flynn, I've got to get rid of it, and I can't fight. So taking out Flynn's, Diablos, that's pretty much Fire the Cannons, exactly what it's for.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think the one thing with me, never having played this in combination, just from the steel aspect, uh, I find Pete just absolutely goaded as a card in general,
Mhm.
especially like when you're trying to eke out those, okay, I know that the only thing that way I lose is by them playing some sort of action. And as a Steel Song player, it feels terrible to be peated. And that's how I found I've lost some games against similar decks like this where they just repeated me. And I can't do anything with my little 1/2s and 2/2s on board. So uh, that would be one thing that I would potentially consider if I were to take this deck and make it my own. Would be going up to I would be probably playing at least at 3 peats.
3 Peats doesn't feel wrong.
3 peat.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's all about the 3 Peat.
yeah.
It's also like Pete's also like it just helps as well with like your snakes and your foxes just kind of like getting rid of things that could get rid of your smaller characters as well, which I think is also helpful. That 3/3 stat line kind of healthy
It's
for this deck.
very big in this deck.
Yeah. I think the only your DJ was talking about Pete being like the out for a lot of decks, and then I think about the times that I've played against a red deck and I Pete and then they Sisu me or say Maleficent Dragon me or Medusa, and I'm just like, oh, Pete's ass.
Yeah, nothing feels worse than the turn I
Yeah.
played. They had a Mufasa, the blue Mufasa out, and I peated them, and they Maleficent Dragoned me, quested with Mufasa, Maleficent Dragoned me, and I was like,
Yeah.
cool. Glad I
You got
had
that.
Pete.
You got that. I ain't even.
Yeah,
I can't
Tough,
say
buddy.
anything.
yeah.
It hurts.
But in the finals, the one of the two games I played that I won because I peated on the exact turn that next turn. The only thing he had was he had two be prepared, and he was sitting there like, if he bare necessities me, he's gonna cry. And I didn't have a bare necessities. I just peated, and he was like, "Yep, I couldn't get rid of everything. Sisu didn't get rid of enough, so he was just stuck there on the back foot." Card definitely probably one of the most impactful uncommons from this set, if not the most impactful.
Definitely. I agree.
Deserve to be more than an uncommon.
Oh yeah, just imagine how expensive that
Deserve
cold
to be
blow
the
would be.
promo.
Oh, that would have been sick.
Yeah, that would have been sick. I feel like that art would have looked so good.
So
too.
we got so glad we got a 5 quest unplayable in yellow.
Come on, it's Mirabelle. It's so
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
though.
Yeah, you can get it one of your own without. You can almost pay the admission fee to buy one. The card's like $40.
Sad.
Yeah, 30 now.
Really?
Yeah,
God dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
With
29 by the end of this sentence.
Yeah.
with it being a top 8 prize out, like the price for this card is just like tanking so quickly.
I feel like
Yeah.
the main problem is like if it was an actual card, like Mirabelle's a card, but like it's not as
It's not playable.
Yeah, that's the problem. If it was like top 8 and it was a good card, like Goat or Rabbit or like B Prep, or just like any card.
Pete.
Yeah, like I know they need to do specifics to the set,
And
but I think Pete would have been the good one. Ariel does
Yeah.
not need a promo.
Dude, Ariel is too
Dude,
iconic.
Ariel
that
should definitely get a
it needs
promo.
it needs an enchanted.
And B
A
Prep
new
needs an enchanted.
Dude,
No,
B
it
Prep would
doesn't.
be sick as an enchanted.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know that's gonna be like a Worlds or Continentals thing.
Oh, yeah.
whatever it
The
is.
whole new world? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's
That
chef's
card's
kiss.
so pretty.
Queen.
Yeah. No, but I agree with what's been going around a lot of the set champs is one, making it a playable card, like Luca mentioned. But two, it feels really bad now of the yes, I like that it's getting more people feeling like, oh, I may not be the best, most competitive players, but I can make top 8 and still get a card. I like that aspect, but then I'm also like, okay, what's the point in trying so hard to get this card that top 8 is going to get? I agree with what some people have said of making like 5th through 8th a non-foil version of it, kind of like they do the DLC promos. And then top 4 get the foil version, so it still incentivizes those people that are topping the highest level of these. And I know it's not the most hyper competitive events, like winning 3-peat at Luxury Ball Collectibles is not like, give me my invite to Continentals at this point. Like, it's nothing like that. So, yeah.
I do like the aspect of top 8 being like I've had like so many situations where it's like bad beats where I beat my teammate or my teammate beats me in top 8 and I'm just like, wow, this is awful. I do like that aspect. I just really wish they would implement something because like in other card games they'll have like a different promo or different foilings on the card, like you said, DJ, and I really like that. And I think it would be cool to see like different variations of the card, or even just like different cards. Just make more cards. Like just do top 8 is one card, and then first, second, third, and fourth are all a card, and first and second are mats. I would like that a lot because it like brings people out. Like there's more cards, and like stores are getting these cards for free, so like it makes it to where they can have like bigger tournaments. Like I want to come to tournaments where I'm getting like a large quantity of cards, like good cards. I want to go to those tournaments. I want to play. I want to have good prize support.
Yeah, I've seen some that have had like posted, and they have like they turned it into like a win a case or something like that. And I'm like, God dang, we got 3 packs of cards for if we only got a pack per win for Swiss, and we drew 2 games. So I was like, that should count as 1 win. But no, we got 3 packs for 1 per win in Swiss, and no packs per win for Top Cut. And so it was a little feel bad for prize support, but same time it was only what, $20. But all the people that went 05, they didn't pay for anything.
It's a little bit of a double-edged thing. Like, okay, it's built-in prize support for top 8, but then it also feels like it falls more on the store to provide something justifiable.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
in the same breath though, they could just like charge nothing for the event because the pricing is free.
The problem with like I don't think implementing I think you have to charge something to like grow your store, but also like
Absolutely.
but like I think it is unfair to like go into a $30 entry tournament and getting pack per win just like feels unfair. Like when I go to a tournament, I would like to like for my winnings like feel deserved. Like when I go to a tournament and I
Sounds
get
like a
like
Magic player.
5 packs, I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. I am such a Magic player. Prizing's crazy in that game.
Pricing's crazy in this game, like for legit
Yeah,
tournaments, you know what I mean? But it's
but like
also like
having
store
cash
discretion, and
tournaments.
that's like store discretion is like a lot of what Ravensburger tries to push as well. But I think they also push for like stores to be very like honest and truthful, and they are hoping that they're going to be that, as well as like generous to the community, and like we all know how some places can be.
They're expecting to pull
Raven,
straight.
yeah. How did we even get on this topic?
I don't know. It was a
We were
long.
talking about promos. We were talking about Pete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
Yapping.
dang, we went off on a tangent.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Luca's BlueSteel.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
God.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
Okay, it's
you're
not
gonna need
Luca's
to. I don't
Blue
even
Steel.
know what's in my deck.
It's not Luca's
He was just
Blue
given the
Steel,
deck.
okay?
Yeah, I need to give a big shout out.
Shout out to Lamb Chop.
Big shout out to my boy Jonathan Lamb, the BlueSteel mastermind, the GOAT. He gave me his list because I wanted to test with BlueSteel. I've already like kind of finished my variations of red purple, like what list I'd be running for Seattle. So I kind of wanted to test some other decks, and BlueSteel was a deck that I've been wanting to test for a while, but didn't really have the time to test because I was so locked in on red purple. And I thought like a good tournament was just to play this at my locals because it's a pretty like competitive scene. Like Bivens and all of our team were there. It was a pretty good tournament, pretty good show. It was like 18 people, I think. I think the deck is like it really is like red purple, as it's just like very consistent. Like I think the deck is even against the field, and then your matchup percentage goes up like however many games you played. That's why I like red purple so much. But I think this deck has a very innately powerful thing that it does of just like whole new world and lucky dime are very powerful cards. Red purple doesn't have that, but it is more consistent. Also, Hiram is a broken card. I learned that. That card is I had like so many games where I just played it on 4 and it was never answered, and then the game was over. It's very, very good.
Yeah, unless you're playing against a red deck that just brawls it.
Yeah, but then like if they don't have brawl, you just win the game, and it's great.
Yeah. But you also have to it's so funny that you say that, because that's what I know Bruce can feel this. Even Corey playing blue red a lot, and me, I've played blue red, I've played blue steel. Hiram is a broken card
Yeah.
until you don't have an item, or you have an item and you don't have a Hiram. Like,
Oh, I'm
it's
just
like,
I'm playing him before Wheels question for one like 3 different times. The card's impossible to kill.
yeah, a blue feels so good with Hiram until like you're not seeing the combo, but you have that like first time playing BlueSteel luck right now where it's just always in your hand.
Whatever you say, whatever you say. You'll catch me this Saturday and Sunday. You'll see what I'm playing.
Yeah, this looks like almost identical to the BlueSteel list I was playing at the beginning of set 4. Obviously minus the set 5 cards, which I think is just what Vision and
played
Beat.
BlueSteel?
Visions.
What's that?
You play
Yeah.
BlueSteel?
Unfortunately for all of us,
Ooh.
we had to deal with it.
I don't remember.
I played a little bit of BlueSteel because I was like, I just was burned out on AmberSteel, and I was like, I'm gonna play something other.
Him and Caesar had a mirror match.
Oh yeah,
that was the
that
end
was
of it.
fun.
Yo, DJ playing BlueSteel kind of hurts my brain because the meme of DJ when he plays AmberSteel, he's so slow.
And we played best of 3 for our set champs. I'll go real quick back to mine. We played best of 3, and I was constantly done with like 20 minutes left in the round. So I thought about you, Luca. I felt you breathing down my neck. Okay, I didn't say anything about Top Cut. Top Cut. I told them to get out their sleeping sacks for your Top Cut.
Oh, God.
That's so funny.
I was like, Lucas told me a different story.
Oh yeah, for Top Cut, absolutely. I was like,
all
right, I'm gonna make sure and
make sure you get that
grindy games. Yeah. I mean, I will say game 3 against Lucas lasted all of 5 minutes. I just had the nuts opening and just won by turn 5. But yeah, no, I played a little bit of BlueSteel. Long story short, I noticed no 2-drop ramp. Do you know like Lamb's reasoning on the no 2-drop ramp? Was it the one jump getting ripped by all the green decks nowadays and Tipo kind of card disadvantage?
So the more I played, and I talked to Sky, Jonathan, and like the other BlueSteel players R&B about this. The problem with one jump ahead is it just like you said, getting ripped by Ursula is really annoying. And it gave you card advantage. Like you weren't going down on cards, which was good. But like, so you had to play Mickey, because Tipo makes you go down on card, and that's a problem when you're not wheeling. And like Mickey has been good for that, just like being able to like, take it off the top and then being able to ink reasonably, not getting rid of like your items or like a 6-drop Tinkerbell in hand when you're trying to play a Cogs on 5, or you're trying to play your whole new world on 5. Like you just don't want to be like super constrained. Like you don't have any cards in hand. It's really bad, especially with like the discard decks coming out, which I think your green steel matchup is like very good. I think it's like a 70-30 matchup, maybe 80-20. Like it feels really hard to lose. Your deck just like kind of does everything to beat them, like all the kill spells and the Tinkerbells and the like draw 7. You just like hire them, draw a bunch of cards, let them draw off Diablo, and then you're like whole new world, kill your thing, and then just reset the game. Yeah.
No, that was similar reasoning why. Granted, I didn't have Tipo back then because it wasn't out, but that was my reasoning for doing Mickey over like one jump, because it just got ripped out too many times, and I liked the Mickey into turn 4 Cogsworth, or in this case, like, I mean, what's dealing with Chien Po on turn 4? Dude's so fat.
I'll tell you from a red purple standpoint. Crab on 3, Fox on 4.
That's true. I guess readied, I was thinking, because you wouldn't need to bodyguard if you need to use him to hold New World the next turn. So they have now Cogsworth and Chien Po that they can reliably play on 4 and reliably assume it would most likely live until the next turn.
I mean, they should just like not tap their or bodyguard their Chien Po. No. If you're playing against red purple, just leave it untapped, wheel, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Where's the real estate? No cottage.
No room. We're already on
Didn't-
61, my bro.
I was gonna say Lamb
What?
took it out. I think he did it. Didn't he say he like did it for the memes and now he's done or something?
The problem with the card is that like it didn't do anything like the like protection versus blue red of like knowing what they have. It didn't do anything because like you had to play differently that entire game, which was a problem. I think the like wheel versus red purple having it on the field and like knowing they don't have prep is nice. Number one, if they draw prep, it's very bad for you. And number two is like I don't think you can get good players with that. Like they'll just kill your cottage or they won't care about it and just try and go for
Play off the
20.
knowledge that they
Yeah.
also have. Yeah.
That's and which is really annoying because your deck is like really good at like being able to answer everything because you'll like can't grab your swords in a turn. When your opponent knows grab your swords in your hand, it's a lot worse.
Yeah. No, but I like the addition of Ariel in there because I was a big Ariel fan. Just ward is an insane keyword, as we all know.
Yeah, it's really for the blue red matchup. I'm considering playing 3.
Yeah.
I'm still like testing a bit. Like the problem is like flooding on it is really bad, but it's like pretty important. Like when you go Chimpo into Ariel, like blue red just cannot beat you.
Yeah. So what'd you
How come-
find? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what'd you find was kind of this deck's downfall in your testing and I guess in finals too? Obviously.
I think like the aggro of Steel Song's pretty tough. Like Daisy's pretty annoying because like you just like don't have a good clean answer to it. Like you can Argus or Shmi, but that doesn't like it doesn't really put you anywhere because it puts you behind, and then you're not like developing your hand in a way. Like you have to like put cards on the field, and if they have an answer, like if they have a deal to your Argus, you just lose the game on the spot. You kind of just like have to hope they don't have Daisy. It also like depends on the players. Like I think like I have only played one player, and that was like the best Steel Song player, or second best. DJ's number 1. we'll put.
Hey, I'll take it. I'm not gonna ever claim I'm the best.
I think Daisy's really important. See, if I was playing a non-Daisy player, I would have won. I think like in the testing I've done, I think blue-red is pretty hard. I think it's really dependent on your hands. Shmi is really important. How you draw is very important. I'm still testing quite a bit. I think Steel Song and Blue-Red are like your 50-50 matchups. Red-Purple feels good, but I haven't played like it's hard to say playing good players because it's so hard to play Red-Purple. And like the deck lists matter. I also don't think I'm playing it like perfectly because the deck's like pretty hard, BlueSteel. But yeah, like 50-50 against like basically everything. And like your good matchups are like impossible to lose. I'm gonna be testing tomorrow with Din very, very early, 5 a.m, to get some blue-red preps.
Nice. Yeah, because you haven't been seeing BlueSteel much until recently. It's only recently that people have been kind of popping back up into that archetype.
Yeah.
Lamb, man.
So good.
He did so good in Vegas, and everybody just like.
And then he went to SCG and won both events.
Yep.
And top 8 or top 4 the other one.
Yeah, back to back. It was crazy. Did you guys see the new blue card that they dropped today?
I have no clue.
No.
One drop, inkable, and it like readies an item.
It
And
either
so it's
readies an item or it readies a robot.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the card's
it should just
unplayable.
say ready lucky dime is what it should
Yeah.
say.
It really, yeah, for real. It really should just say ready lucky dime.
Cares about the
Insane.
robot.
I don't know.
No,
like
the
we don't even
robot's
have
the
any.
important part.
We don't even have any robots yet, so they're probably all gonna come out in set 6.
Yeah, you got
So,
like
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 and
yeah, all
whatnot.
the Big Hero 6
Those-
stuff comes out.
Those robots
Give
are
me
coming
some
in.
red purple cards. Or some BlueSteel cards. I'll play some more BlueSteel if I have to. That Jafar is
If you have to.
actually unplayable, bro. That
The new
Jafar
one
is
that came
bro.
out.
Oh,
The devs
They-
are just
Yeah.
the devs
They
are literally
hate
just like,
Jafar.
bro, they just hate like every card. Like they're just like, we should make this card uninkable, die to Medusa, die to Zeus. Like it's just the card doesn't do anything.
It's so crazy because like that's the criteria, right? For when you look at a card to figure out if it's good.
Like,
It's like,
yeah,
does it
checks
die to
note, does this
Medusa?
die to Medusa? Yeah.
It's like the first box you're like trying to check off. Oh
I think I
man,
just hate steel legendaries because they're all
so bad.
Bad
like,
Beast, Robin Hood,
yeah.
Jafar.
you got two good ones, and the rest of them are not good.
Yeah.
Gantu?
Oh, that's the best
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Man,
The alien signature cards coming out with the what's her name, the councilwoman.
I want Gantu to be good. I want to play Gantu. I wanted to play Gantu since set 1. Nobody can stop me. I'm gonna overcook again, okay?
Not for DLCs, just for
Not for
local.
DLCs, I promise. I promise.
You drop a Gantu, like I'm just gonna pick it up. I don't know what you're doing.
You got it.
It's like I'm scared of you now. Get away from me. Oh man. Do we think that Green Steel is going to win the
No.
DLC again?
No, that
No?
sucks.
Oh my goodness. Why? Why do we not think from Luca
Okay,
that
so
Green Steel is gonna win again?
I'm gonna
It's
go
a
on the
yapping.
whole yap, rant, everything known to man. That deck is so trash. You have like I
Okay.
just want to put this in like perspective. Biven's one of the best players. Okay. Biven's one of the best
Yeah.
players. Went 12-0 in Swiss, went to Top Cut and just like got 2-0 because he's just like the deck doesn't have a comeback mechanic, number one. And when you draw bad, like you cannot do anything.
Okay,
And
to be fair, he was playing for Hidden Cove.
yeah, but you have to. Like when I played against other Green Steel, when I played against other Green Steel players, like how you beat them is like I hope they don't have Cove. Like when my opponent doesn't have Cove, I know I just insta win. Like me and Bivens talked for so long about how important Cove was in the matchup because like it makes Elsa unplayable, Brawl unplayable, Medusa on Beast. You just cannot do anything against Cove. You have to like play bodies on the board, commit to the board. They get Brunos and Muses online now. It just like it's so hard to beat Cove. It's like it's red purple's like Bane. It's so annoying. I think the matchup's like 50-50 versus red purple. I don't personally like that deck. I think there are a lot of just better choices to play than a deck that is like I don't want to say luck sacky, but like that deck can really just like if you have the nuts, like no one can beat it. Which is like not fun. Also, the mirror matches are atrocious. Like it's
don't
so
even
play
get
draw
me
dependent.
started, bro. When I thought I won, or I didn't win, I top 128'd Fort Worth DLC with fucking Green Steel and wanted to do some not very good things afterwards because my brain was just melting from the mirror match, the last mirror match I had to play. Like it was insane. Like I will take a red purple matchup any day over the Green Steel mirror. Like it is miserable.
Let's go.
You don't like all the thought going into just playing the card off the top of your deck.
Like it's so bad. You know what's crazy though is like I never had that issue where I just like didn't have cards in my hand. Like playing Green Steel, like I always like my Diablo was always hitting, like my Beast was always like it's just so weird that like people just like don't have cards in their
It's a
hand.
high roll luck deck.
Yeah.
I feel like how Luca was saying, like because when you see Diablo, it's do you have an answer? If not, I'm going to outvalue because yes, I'm just gonna draw with you on everything. And God, it's something like primal inside of me that's like when someone says, I'll draw with you, I'm like, I get it. I know. Like, just draw. I don't care if you draw 5 cards when I draw 1. Like, just don't say I'll draw with you. Like,
We draw.
it triggers
We
something
draw
inside of me.
together.
Like, I start
I tell
foaming
my
at the mouth.
opponents that we're best friends, so we draw together.
No, so
I'm such a menace.
it's so frustrating. And then when I wheel and they get 14 plus their draw 15 cards, and then I'm the one complaining about how slow they're playing because they have too many decisions, and
I
I'm
don't
playing off the top of my deck.
understand green steel players that draw that many cards. If I have more than 10 cards in my hand, my tism is tisming, bro. Like I cannot do it. Like I actually like can't function.
I
I
can't
cannot
count
make a
past
decision.
10.
I can't make a decision.
What is
I
this
can't
number?
play. Like I don't know what it is, but like after like it just feels like too much, you know? Like because you also just have so many choices, and I think it's so much easier to make a wrong choice like when you have that many cards in your hand. At least it is for me. Like I just can't do it. Like when I see green steel players that are like, oh, you discarded 6 and I have Prince John and you wheeled, like I'm like, bro, and they got like 30 freaking cards in their hand. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get like they're gonna wheel you again and you're gonna be decked out and you're gonna cry about it.
Playing nil at that point.
Yeah, like it's crazy, dude. I can't. Like it just when I see people with that many cards in their hand, like that brings out like a primal like irritation in me. Like I can't do it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Luca.
Nah, I'm not super like I think it's a good deck, but it's a very high roll deck and it doesn't have ways to really come back that well. Like if you don't see like your Diablo and your Prince John, and it's also, I agree discard should be it's a mechanic in most card games of sorts, but really I just hate playing against it because God, just having they draw the nuts and just discard your entire hand, and then they're drawing with you and saying that every time they draw with you, it really feels bad.
What do we think? What do we think is gonna be the most represented deck in at the DLC?
I mean, I think we can all just say this. It's going to be blue-red. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be the most represented deck.
Do we think so?
It's always been. It's just like it. I think it's like relatively like it's relatively cheap. I think it's the like second cheapest deck, right? Like red purple's the cheapest, and then that's next. Maybe BlueSteel. Like I don't think anything is like super egregious besides like maybe I don't even know. Like everything's pretty cheap, right?
I think so.
No.
I mean,
Emerald Steel
What?
gets up there.
Emerald Steel's
Emeralds.
pretty
What's
expensive.
emerald?
Amber
What's
Steel's
emerald?
expensive too.
Green.
Emerald is green. Green's still super expensive. Diablos,
Yeah.
Sad Boys.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
deck
those
is
are-
it's like probably the most expensive deck actually.
That one and Amber Steel are probably
Yeah,
So
Amber
the
Steel's
most
the most
expensive,
expensive.
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I think so. I was surprised to find because I didn't really see any of the matchups with Amber Amethyst in top cut of Vegas, but apparently 3 ended Swiss in the top 11 or something like that.
Amber Amethyst?
Yeah, like Amber Amethyst aggro. And so
oh yeah.
Purple yellow. Purple yellow.
Okay.
yeah,
My-
what
my
was I
brain
what was I
was- my
saying?
brain was
What was-
going-
No,
what did I
he
say?
just doesn't know.
Yeah.
No, Amber Amethyst is correct. Luca just can't
Oh,
like
okay.
put
I
them
don't know
together.
the
Dang, I'm
colors.
dumb.
You have
And
to
to translate it.
bro. I was
Uh,
like, what
yeah.
is amber? Amber like dinosaur.
It's the
Yellow,
color of your energy.
purple.
Wow. Yeah.
Reference
Yellow,
311 here.
Yellow purple. I'm curious if more of that pops up just because of the prevalence of red blue, which we always kind of were saying before. But the fact that there were actually ones that made top cut to me was like surprising because it's not a deck that you think would go that far. It's gonna try to cheese in those red blue decks, but if you don't queue into those really, like you're gonna just get kind of stomped by steel decks.
Yeah.
And I mean, purple steel got those aggro components to it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy who got 11th at the DLC in Swiss. He might have. I don't know. Was it after Top Cut? I think it was. Yeah, because he got his invite. I was talking to him about playing the deck to Seattle because I was like, I knew I like red purple was in like the realm of what I'd be playing, but I kind of wanted like a fallback plan. And like I think aggro was in a good spot, and we talked about it a bit. It's just like really hard to beat Song, and like with the rise of like green steel, it's pretty hard. And your red purple matchup isn't even that good because Elsa just like 3-for-1s you and kills Pascal. It just like literally does everything, which I think is like a really big problem. Like if you dodge like Steel Song though, like I think the deck is like you're just gonna win the tournament. Like the deck just 2-0s every single deck basically. Like if you play 4 blue red, like you're just gonna like run the
You're
tournament.
coasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on matchups. Like DLCs are really like luck based, but like they do have a lot of skill. Like variance is gonna happen in what 15-round tournament, right? 9, 6, 15-round tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, I feel like, the most favorable for any form of like yellow purple deck. This is probably the best format it's been able to have a chance of success in. I still don't think it ever wins one like the aggro version.
Okay, I was
yellow
like,
purple. Yeah, I know. It's fine. And it made me so upset because at the beginning of this set, I have in my Dreamborn a yellow purple Mufasa Perdita list, and I was cooking with it, and I was testing it and everything, and then I was like, I didn't have the confidence to actually play it, and then people started talking about someone playing that list, and I was like, dang, I should have posted it.
Should have just posted it.
Yeah. Just like I was
tried to
playing
play
the
Lemon Lime aggro Friday at Vegas, and yeah, the confidence got shot after I just got blown out by every Steel Song deck.
Yeah.
Nope, not playing this one.
There was so much Steel Song in Vegas. Like it was so crazy.
I think it was like the 3rd represented deck or something, or like the 2nd represented deck.
That's why I kind of don't want to play it. Like
Mirror
AmberSteel mirror matches are also miserable as hell because it's literally just like who wins a die roll, who gets the Cindy out first.
There are definitely with this set more plays on the draw going into Steel Song if you know the lines, and I've been able to 2-0 more Steel Song since this set, winning on the draw. A lot of it being if they have Cindy, I'm not playing my Cindy on, and then if they don't play Ursula, I can play my Ursula, and then also Pete on 3. I had one mirror match where they actually inked their Pete, which made me feel great because the only counter to my play was for them to play Pete after I played Pete. So they played Ariel on 3. I played Pete on 3. They can't do anything. I play Naveen, Zeus, and then let Pete sing Storm or Strength of Raging Fire, and now I have the board, and now you're playing like you were on the draw. So that's kind of been the kind of game plan for Steel Song this set.
Yeah, I have been Peated after my Pete so many times that I'm just like, I'm never playing Pete first. It feels so bad getting Peated after you Pete.
Yeah, that's why you have to have another Pete. It's like Uno when you do +2 and then they play a +2 on your +2 and then you +2 back. You have to have another one.
Gosh, if only it was that easy. I gotta put Pete to 4 and then Lawrence to 3 because right now it's reversed.
Yeah, Lawrence is cracked.
Lawrence do be a good card. What, Luca? He's over there yapping in his muted mic.
No, I'm laughing. I can't laugh at like serious things. Like when I used to be I don't used to be in school, like Zoom calls, I would just laugh on calls. So I had to mute my mic all the time.
Oh my
I don't know. It's just funny discussing. Like I don't know. This is an hour-long yap sesh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
They used to
And
That's
call
all
it podcast.
podcasts are.
Yeah.
I've literally
This
never
is-
watched a podcast in my life.
Now, what
Well-
about this one? Don't answer it. Don't answer.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Nah, I'm leaving it in. Alrighty, guys. Well, it was great having you on the podcast. Yeah. Any last words? Luca, maybe we'll giggle before we get off again.
On cue.
On cue.
What do you guys think
Alright.
is gonna win Seattle?
Not red purple.
It's
Or do you can go, DJ. I'm gonna ponder this some more.
yeah. I mean, this is a very cop out answer. I'll be honest, but it's a very healthy meta right now where we have so many decks that are competitive
Mhm.
that we can rationalize winning the whole thing. Like red purple's still red purple, so it always has a chance to go really far. Like Luca was mentioning, there's always variance in these tournaments where with so many players involved of such high caliber, with so few matches, get into the grand scheme of things, like I could say that red purple, AmberSteel, green steel, like red blue, one of those decks
all
is going
these
to win.
decks have a winning chance.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, it's just kind of spin this wheel of where they all
We're shooting in
kind
the
of have.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my cop out answer.
Yeah, that
No,
was
An
I
answer that
agree.
was no answer.
Exactly.
That
I should be
was,
in politics.
that was about mine. I want to say like red purple or like blue steel. Like I'm playing those decks. I think they're the best decks. The problem is like I think those decks are like the two hardest decks to play in the format. So it's just like it's very hard to say that deck is gonna win because I don't think there's enough representation. Like I think blue steel is like the like least played deck. I don't want to say least played deck, like least played of the good decks because the deck is just so incredibly hard to play. And I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are playing red purple, but there aren't a lot of people who have like played red purple long enough to like top a DLC.
Yeah, it's a lot of times not necessarily about how much representation, but of the representation, the high skilled players that have put in the reps on that into the other meta decks that they're inevitably going to face. So I think that matters a lot more than, okay, just because like we saw, I think AmberSteel didn't convert very well. But that was one of the hype decks of this set, especially with Daisy. So naturally, you're going to have a lot of people that are not as comfortable with AmberSteel running the deck. So sometimes that doesn't really translate to me that, oh, it's the deck's bad because it had a not great conversion rate. But the players that are good with AmberSteel made it to day 2. That's why I didn't.
Well, you guys are cowards. It's just gonna be red blue.
Alright, Jose's putting his money on red blue.
I
We'll
would
see.
put money on blue red not winning. That deck for sure is not winning.
Why?
My top 3 because that deck sucks. No skill, terrible deck. Shout out to
From the
Lucas.
purple
Like
red
you,
crutch.
bro, you know the deck's bad when Lucas is playing it. Like, come on. Like,
What a bully. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it definitely feels like hey, I'm just gonna get to the late game and then play my cards and you not ever play your cards. Even more so than it feels like BlueSteel on steroids in the sense of like that late game like win condition of just dime and whatnot. And it just has more character removal. It just feels to me like it's not as hard of a deck, I feel like, as a lot of people seem like it is. There doesn't seem to be a lot of brain power involved because there's usually a very
Damn.
well, I just mean there's
Shots
usually
fired.
not a lot of decision making to be made because a lot of your hand is typically high end, and it's like what does what I need it to do play.
Are you talking about blue red?
Yeah,
I
like
thought he was talking about red purple.
no, I was talking about blue red
I'm
because
such
a lot of it's
I'm
just.
such an RP hater. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, I'm
Yeah, it's
a
because you
hater.
lose to it so much. That's why.
I know. I hate that deck, bro. You know what's no? I don't lose to it a lot. I lose to you. I do
Yeah.
not lose to red purple. I lose
I
to
think
Luca.
I'm
Every
pretty
other
sure
red
I play
purple.
you the most on the entire team. I
Yeah.
definitely play you the most.
That's also why other red purple players don't beat me. To be fair, that is also why other red like
I
in
got
Vegas.
infinite reps against me.
Yeah, in Vegas, I did not lose to a single red purple player. Felt good. Felt good. I don't lose to the deck. I only lose to Luca. Ugh. I lose to Luca no matter what deck he's playing. If I'm being honest, too, though. Like he's just really good. It's annoying.
Yeah, I know I haven't played him as that many times. I know it'll
No,
definitely happen.
let's just stop it here.
But I've
DJ
never lost to
crushes me.
Luca.
DJ crushes me every time we play, bro. This guy draws the abs. Tank, have the nuts. Tank, has the
No.
nuts. Wheel, Zeus you, like every time has
I
the
just
nuts
always
against
have it.
me.
That was the meme on Sunday. Perry, Big Pharma, he said when I got paired into him on round 2, he was like, "Oh, great! I got to play against DJ. He always has it. That's just every time, no matter what. He always has it." And if we
He
hadn't even
has
started the game,
everything
and
in
sure
the
enough,
binder.
I always had it.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and end it off here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully, me and Luca will see some of you guys in Seattle. Bye.
Bye.